If you look at Earth from space, the first thing you notice is that it's mostly blue. Not green, not brown, blue. About 71% of our entire planet is covered in water. The ocean is so vast that if you removed all the land on Earth and flattened everything out, the water would cover the whole planet to a depth of nearly 3 kilometers. But here's the question nobody thinks to ask. Where did all that water come from? And why is it salty? 4.5 billion years ago, Earth didn't have an ocean at all. It was a ball of molten rock, scorching hot, covered in lava, constantly being bombarded by asteroids. There was no liquid water anywhere on the surface. The conditions were so extreme that any water would have instantly vaporized. So the ocean didn't come with the planet. It had to be built. And the story of how it was built is one of the most dramatic in all of science. The first source of water was the planet itself. As Earth cooled, volcanoes erupted constantly, and volcanic eruptions don't just release lava. They release enormous amounts of gas, including water vapor. Over hundreds of millions of years, this water vapor built up in the atmosphere. As the planet slowly cooled enough, that vapor condensed, and it began to rain. Not for a day, not for a year. It rained for millions of years. And that rain collected in the low points of the surface, forming the first oceans. But volcanoes weren't the only source. Scientists believe that a significant amount of Earth's water arrived from space, carried here by comets and asteroids during a period called the Late Heavy Bombardment, when the early solar system was still chaotic and rocky objects were crashing into planets constantly. Comets are essentially dirty snowballs, chunks of ice, rock, and dust. When they hit Earth, they delivered water. Some of the water in your glass right now may have arrived on a comet billions of years ago. Now the salt. When rain falls, it picks up tiny amounts of minerals and salts from the rocks and soil it flows over. Rivers carry this dissolved salt all the way to the ocean. The ocean receives it, but unlike rivers, the ocean doesn't flow anywhere. The water evaporates from the surface, rises into clouds, and falls as rain again. But the salt stays behind, can't evaporate. So over millions and millions of years, salt has been slowly accumulating in the ocean, getting more concentrated with every cycle. There's a second source of salt too, and it comes from the ocean floor itself. Deep underwater, where tectonic plates pull apart, seawater seeps down into the hot rock below. It heats up, dissolves minerals from the rock, and then shoots back up through hydrothermal vents, underwater geysers on the ocean floor. These vents pump mineral-rich water back into the ocean continuously. So the ocean is being salted from below as well as from the rivers above. Let's talk about scale for a moment. The ocean holds about 1.335 billion cubic kilometers of water. If you tried to count every drop, counting one per second, it would take longer than the age of the universe. The deepest point, the Mariana Trench in the Pacific, is nearly 11 kilometers deep. That's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. And we've explored less than 20% of it. The ocean is the largest unexplored space on our own planet. The ocean isn't just a body of water. It's the engine that makes life on Earth possible. It absorbs heat from the sun and distributes it around the planet, keeping temperature stable. It produces more than half of the oxygen we breathe, not from trees, but from tiny ocean plants called phytoplankton. It absorbs a huge amount of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Without the ocean, Earth would be a scorching, airless rock. It doesn't just contain life, it enables it. The ocean was built over billions of years, by volcanoes, by comets, by rain that fell for millions of years without stopping. Its salt was collected grain by grain, carried by every river that ever flowed. It is ancient, enormous, and mostly unknown. The next time you stand at the edge of it, or even just taste salt on your food, you're touching something that took longer to make than the human mind can really grasp. And it's still being built right now, one river at a time.